Good evening, this is Sean Gwill with Paradise Veggies. It is Saturday, October the 13th. I'm here in the garden, just got through planting 3 fruit trees, and I wanted to detail for you guys the method that I use, or I've found to be successful. Now first I'll tell you about the trees I planted. I planted a peach tree that has 3 different peaches on it. One's a strawberry free, the other is a scarlet robe, and this third variety is a Babcock. My understanding is that one is spring, fall, and summer ripening fruit, right? So you should always have a fresh peach to eat. The second thing I planted was a semi-dwarf gala apple and a yellow guava tree. The reason that I planted them is, one, I wanted some more fruit trees, but what I'm hoping is going to happen is that once these trees start to develop, they're going to shade this garden bed that has gets the most afternoon sun exposure, and I've not been so successful planting plants in it. Okay, so a good rule of thumb to remember when you're planting anything is that you're going to dig a $20 hole for a $5 plant. It's going to take you probably way more time, 2-3 times as much time to dig the hole that you're going to put the plant in than it probably took to go and buy it. Digging an adequately sized hole and amending the soil that you fill in around it is really the equivalent of or not adequately doing it would be the equivalent of buying a shoe size that was 2 or 3 sizes too small. You could probably get your foot in there, but it's not going to be pretty fun. Really fun. So the top diameter of the container that this plant, the peach tree, came out of was 1 foot, so I dug it 2 feet across, and it was 14 inches deep, right? And so I didn't dig the hole 14 inches deep. I actually dug the hole 18 inches deep, so 4 inches deeper than the plant, but backfilled with a mixture of chicken manure, grass clippings, and that chunky compost that I showed you guys before to 6 inches. So the math is the top of the plant is going to sit about 2 inches above the ground. Now that will settle and it's going to be about even, and that's the reason why I do it. The other thing too is when I go ahead and I dig the holes, you're going to read a lot of stuff that says to fill the hole in with water and see how long it takes to gauge what the drainage is like for the hole, and that's all true and good, and you want to know that. But one of the other reasons that you want to make sure that you fill the hole with water is because the ground is going to be probably pretty dry, especially if you're planting it where I did, somewhere where there's not any grass, and it's going to constantly be leaching or wicking the water away from the plant. So when I fill it with water, sometimes I'll fill it twice with water so that I know that the ground around it has isn't going to be so dry that it's constantly going to be taking water away from the plant. And then you're going to, avoid any transplant shock and losing potentially, fruit trees aren't cheap, so a tree that was expensive and you wasted all this time. So after I do that, I put the plant in, filled it up, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to backfill, obviously, all the area around it. Now there's going to be many how-tos that tell you to take the native soil that you removed from the hole and mix it with your compost to put it back in. I don't do that because the native soil, right, is going to, creep its way back towards the plant, and I want to amend as much of the area around the plant as I can, one for nutrients, but also to kind of help the plant to start to grow and, flush out. So when I go to fill this in, I'm not going to put any of that soil back in there. I'm just going to probably put a good amount of the compost that I talked about before all the way to the top, and then I'll put a little bit of chicken manure on that, and then a little bit more compost. So probably once I'm done, the compost is going to kind of be filled up to this point. Now, you're not done. What I'm going to do after that is I'm going to fill and water the entire thing until the water starts to pool up here on top, and then I'll know that this is soaked, right? And I don't have to worry. You're really doing everything to avoid transplant shock, but also amend the soil around the plant to help it to start growing. right? So you're gonna not just put it on there for 1, 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes. You're gonna put it on there until water is, you know, starting to pool up and run off the plant. I hope you guys enjoy my videos. Post, comment, subscribe. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you. Goodbye.